Welcome to Asian ID. The midnight battlefield of short dramas erupted once again on May 9th, and before most people had even fallen asleep, the entertainment rankings were already drowning in another tidal wave of romance, heartbreak, and emotional obsession, weren't they? At exactly 0:10, Heartbeat, Read But Unreplied starring Karon and Zhai Yiying quietly premiered on Hwangguo's short drama, yet within moments the internet reacted as though someone had lit a match inside a room already filled with gasoline, didn't it? Reservations surged to 169,000 almost instantly, turning the drama into the most anticipated urban romance release of the day before sunrise had even arrived, didn't it? But perhaps the real reason audiences rushed toward the drama was not merely because of the plot itself, but because people were desperate to witness whether Karon and Zhai Yiying could once again recreate the emotional miracle they achieved in previous collaborations, weren't they? This story begins with Su Zhang, a once glamorous celebrity beneath cyberbullying and public humiliation, while Shinji, a socially anxious genius painter, hides himself away from the world like a wounded ghost refusing to heal. Doesn't it? One character charges recklessly through life with sharp words and stubborn optimism, while the other survives inside silence so deep it almost feels suffocating, and from the very beginning their personalities collide with explosive charm. Don't they? Zhai Yiying transforms into a fearless social outlaw overflowing with chaotic energy, while Karon plays a restrained and painfully gentle artist whose loneliness lingers in every glance. Doesn't he? The contrast between them creates endless humor on the surface, yet beneath the laughter lies something unexpectedly tender about two damaged people slowly learning how to save each other. Doesn't there? Every accidental touch, every hesitant stare, and every moment of emotional breakthrough feels carefully designed to make viewers believe that healing itself can sometimes resemble falling in love. Can't it? And perhaps that is why audiences became obsessed almost immediately. Because modern viewers are no longer satisfied with shallow sweetness alone, are they? People now crave emotional rescue disguised as romance, longing for stories where love does not simply entertain but also repairs broken souls, don't they? On the same day, another drama titled Only You Must Behave entered the battlefield at 00:18, starring Yang Shuai and Renyanji, and immediately pulled audiences into the painful beauty of reunion after separation, didn't it? The story follows a rebellious young master and a gifted pianist whose youthful romance collapses after tragedy forces the heroine to leave for London, only for fate to reunite them 5 years later beneath completely different circumstances. Doesn't it? What makes this drama so emotionally dangerous is not the sweetness itself, but the unbearable restraint hidden beneath every interaction. Isn't it? The hero acts cold and distant on the surface, yet every silent act of protection reveals a love that never truly disappeared. Doesn't it? The painful tension between wanting to approach someone while fearing rejection often feels far more devastating than straightforward romance ever could, doesn't it? Meanwhile, the mortal world of the Lee River Ferry brought fantasy into the competition with Su Yuzhun and Yan Zixin leading a story drenched in warmth rather than cruelty. Didn't it? A fairy failing her heavenly trial and accidentally entering the life of a fake heir sounds absurdly dramatic at first, yet the story gradually transforms into something surprisingly gentle about family, healing, and choosing ordinary human happiness over immortality, doesn't it? Against the breathtaking landscapes of Gillen, the heroine heals illnesses through acupuncture while slowly rediscovering the beauty of human connection itself, and doesn't that softer emotional atmosphere feel refreshing in a genre usually addicted to revenge and manipulation? Then there was After Entering the Palace for My Sister, I Became the Emperor's White Moonlight starring Liu Jiamen and Zhang Zheng, which delivered exactly the kind of explosive palace revenge fantasy audiences endlessly crave, didn't it? An overlooked concubine rising from disposable pawn to the emperor's cherished obsession creates the kind of emotional satisfaction that feels almost addictive for viewers exhausted by unfairness in real life. Doesn't it? Watching enemies punished instantly while the heroine rises triumphantly through intelligence and emotional resilience offers audiences a dangerously satisfying sense of justice rarely found outside fiction, doesn't it? Finally, Sir, She Is Your Wife starring Qiu Liao and Zhang Yundao delivered another emotional weapon guaranteed to weaken viewers instantly, didn't it? A struggling mother raising a daughter with leukemia collides unexpectedly with a powerful CEO, only for both of them to discover they are connected through separated twins and years of hidden pain. Doesn't it? The inclusion of emotional child-centered scenes transforms the drama from ordinary romance into something much more emotionally overwhelming. Ekko's family tenderness often reaches audiences more deeply than romance alone, doesn't it? Altogether, more than 40 short dramas launched that same day on the platform, creating an entertainment landscape so crowded with emotional hooks that viewers barely had time to breathe before another storyline demanded their attention, didn't they? Yet despite the fierce competition, Heartbeat, read but unreplied continued leading discussions with unstoppable momentum, didn't it? And perhaps the biggest reason lies in the chemistry between Karon and Zhai Yiying themselves, doesn't it? Their previous collaborations already proved that they possess the rare ability to transform ordinary romantic scenes into moments overflowing with emotional realism. Didn't they? Viewers still remember the astonishing 83.73 million heat index achieved by Wild Lotus Grows Long. And now everyone is watching closely to see whether lightning can strike for a third time, aren't they? Can their third collaboration truly surpass expectations once again and break beyond 60 million popularity within only 24 hours? Or has audience appetite already begun shifting toward newer pairings and fresher emotional formulas? Could that be happening already? The terrifying thing about modern short dramas is how quickly emotions rise and sapphire, isn't it? One night is enough to create a phenomenon, yet another night can just as easily erase it beneath the endless flood of newer stories, newer kisses, and newer heartbreaks, can't it? Still, perhaps what audiences are really searching for has never hanged at all, has maybe behind every trending topic, every viral romantic scene, and every explosive popularity ranking lies the same fragile desire to believe that somewhere in this exhausting world, there still exists a kind of love capable of healing loneliness instead of deepening it, doesn't there? Thank you for watching the video. See you again.